Hola, Piperitos!
What's happening?
Welcome to this very special edition of the Disney Beams. I guess we could be called the Wrestling Beams now.
No, we're still Disney Beams, but this is a wrestling vlog.
This is a wrestling vlog. We're actually going to do two videos. We're going to do this video where we're going to talk about our experiences this weekend with both WWE Smackdown VIP and WrestleCade. We're going to show off some of the stuff that we got. We got a swag bag from WWE because we got the VIP experience, and then we got some autographs at
WrestleCade. Shout out to our friend JD Drake.
JD Drake, blue collar badass.
He had a heck of a match on Friday night at WrestleCade. Mm-hmm. And actually heard people talking about it while we were walking around WrestleCade. So great job, JD. We'll see you at your next local match. Maybe we'll catch him. You can actually catch him at some of the AEW events because he's a member of the Wingmen.
He is.
In AEW. So look out for JD.
Yes. So we're going to talk about, like I said, we're going to do two different videos. This is us talking about our experience and showing off the stuff that we got. And then I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do two videos of that. I'm going to do a video of our Smackdown experience. I'm going to have videos and pictures that both of us took from that. Mm-hmm. And then also I'm going to do the same thing for WrestleCade, the pictures and videos that we took from that. So I think that's the best way to do it instead of putting everything into one hour-long video.
It will be a long one because we got a lot of footage.
We got a lot of footage and we got a lot of stories.
A lot of pictures.
To tell. So I guess let's start with what we got at SmackDown, and then we'll talk about our experience at SmackDown. And then at the end, we're going to bring Josie up because that little girl had one amazing weekend.
So the first thing to look at. Do you want to talk about Josie for a moment, or do you want to get into the stuff, the swag?
You want to talk about Josie as in
Well, I mean, you were getting ready to talk about how much of a great weekend she had.
Well, we're gonna let's do that then. So, first of all, in case you don't know, Josie recently got glasses. So she's so proud of those glasses. She picked them out herself, and she's happy she can see. Yes.
And this developed over the past couple of months where we've been noticing she's been having trouble. So she's really proud of her glasses. She was able to see. So, but for as far as the wrestling goes this weekend. So
this little girl, she made a lot of new fans with a lot of wrestlers, and
yes,
and she just, oh my gosh, that kid was just in absolute heaven.
You said this, a couple of times over the weekend, and I'm gonna kind of summarize what you said. She is the type of fan that every wrestler wants to see in the stands.
That especially on the front row.
Especially on the front row, and I'll let you elaborate.
So she was so animated and so just cheering everybody.
Into it.
She was so into it. She was getting on people like the heels, and we'll talk a little bit about that.
Oh my gosh.
She was cheering.
Well, some of the heels she was cheering for.
She was cheering for some heels, yes. She is my daughter after all. She was just so animated, and I mean, and so were we too. But I mean,
not like her though.
No,
she's got a different level of energy.
Yeah,
she's 8 years old. So
yeah, So Drew McIntyre is her favorite wrestler, and first of all, we took this big sign that we had made originally for the house show in Charlotte in August. WWE threatened to take it, by the way, because it was
too big. But when I held it up for Josie, I held it down. It was kind of in front of me, but in between Josie and I.
Yes.
Because it says Josie lives in Claymore country and has pictures of Drew McIntyre all around it, and I held it up behind her, but in front of my chest. But we were in the front row, and basically held it up during the commercial break. So that Drew could see it.
Yes,
and he did. And
he saw it, and he pointed, and he said Josie.
Yeah,
and if you've been on our channel, you've seen the video that he made for her back in July for her birthday and the dance competition. And I've talked extensively, especially on Twitter, about how much that has meant to her. And yeah, he just, he pointed at her and everything. And oh my God, that just like made her.
It helped to make her night. There were many of things.
There were a lot of things.
So then, not long after that, a WWE official came over and was looking around because I already had the sign folded up and put and like.
Yeah, we just wanted him to see it.
I was done with it, and they came over and they were looking around. They were looking at the sign, and he pointed and said, "What's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's the sign that we had." Oh, well, don't put it back up. It's too big. I don't want to have to take it from you. I was like, well, we're done with it. We just wanted Drew to see it, and we only put it up during the break. So
yeah.
He's like, okay, but still, that they came over and threatened to take it.
That really.
I'm like, really? Yeah. Come on.
Yeah,
I mean, I get it's a big sign, but we had it up for maybe 30 seconds.
If that.
During a break.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, as much money as you charge for the front row.
Just saying.
Don't say anything about 30 seconds of a sign being up during a commercial break.
Yeah. And there was, I mean.
Get out of my face.
And they don't tell you, your sign.
They don't say anything about sign size or anything like that.
No. So I guess the legendary Drew sign is going to be retired. We're going to have to make a smaller sign next time we go, I guess.
Provided we sit in the front. I don't know if they'd say anything. Well, they probably would because they were checking it at the. They actually let us through with security. They actually looked at it at security.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, okay,"
Yeah.
They were talking about it being too big, but then they were like, "Oh, go ahead."
Yeah, they didn't.
Because we were going to hold it. Because we told them
we
were going to hold them up.
I wasn't going to hold it up and block people's view.
Yeah,
that wasn't my plan.
Yeah, it was. We just wanted Drew to see it because he didn't see it when we saw him
at the Super Show.
At the Super Show in August. So,
yeah.
So she also got a high five from Jeff Hardy at that point. So what happened? The next match was Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Sheamus in his corner with Cesaro. She called Sheamus lobster head when he walked by.
I don't know if he heard it or not, though.
I don't know.
If he did, he didn't react. So.
Yeah, he was too busy reacting to the kid next to us that had a sign that says, Sheamus stuffs his trunks.
Well, that was over behind the announce table.
No, beside of us.
Sheamus stuffs his trunks.
The kid behind the announce table actually had like a Sheamus, had his face cut out.
Like the Instagram filter.
Like the Instagram filter that Sheamus made. That one. No, the guy beside of us said, kept screaming, "I hate you, Sheamus!" And it said that, and I was like, no, Sheamus is awesome. But Cesaro, eventually during the night, she got a high five from, or like an acknowledgement from Cesaro. So then, what was the next match?
Then Charlotte came out.
Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair acknowledged,
smiled her and acknowledged her.
Yeah. Let's see who else. We went. Okay, so it was Sasha and Naomi versus Shayna Baszler and
one of the
Natalya.
Sweetest moments of the night.
Oh my God, this was
with Naomi.
Oh my God, so Josie adores Naomi and always has. She, Josie being a dancer and Naomi being like a former. I think she was an Orlando
Magic
cheerleader dancer.
Yeah.
And she's always loved, like her entrance where she dances and everything. Mm-hmm. So Naomi during the break was like outside the ring, like right by us. And when she started coming by again, Josie just said, like reached out her hand and said, "I love you, Naomi." And Naomi came over there and like grabbed her hand. She said, "I love you too, baby." It was,
and it was a sweet moment.
It was really one of the sweetest moments. Sasha Banks also during the match, like when Josie was like cheering for Naomi, she was like saying, "Feel the glow." Sasha Banks like acknowledged her and everything. And I'm saying acknowledged all the time, I guess because of Roman Reigns.
Yeah. But they did. That's what they did.
I acknowledged Roman Reigns.
They were acknowledging her.
I acknowledged Roman Reigns, but not as much as I did.
One of the Battle Royal was full of moments.
Oh, and before I guess I forgot to mention that when Drew got if you watch the show, well, first of all, you're going to see a lot of us.
Yeah, because we were front and center.
We were front and center. So, and my phone kept blowing up during the show.
We see you.
We see you. But Drew got knocked off the apron during the match. I think it was
almost landed in Cherry's lap.
Almost landed in my lap, and I touched his arm.
So you assaulted him?
No, I didn't. It was that.
That's assault.
No, whatever. Hush. Dork. Okay, so the Battle Royal. Okay.
Lots of stuff happened in the Battle Royal. So there were lots of high fives that happened, but the one the one high five that I actually caught on camera was Eric and Ivar were walking by, and she said, "Hi, Eric. Hi, Ivar." And Ivar actually walked over and gave her a high five, and she looked at me. She says, "I got a high five," and started going.
Yeah. Oh, before that, so Sami Zayn came out first.
Yes.
And so when the Viking Raiders came out, he got out of the ring and he was like walking right by us. And Josie's always loved Sami Zayn too. She just said, "I love you, Sami." And so he pointed at her and then looked at the people at ringside and said, "See there? She's the only intelligent person in the room." That was great. That was awesome. Okay, so during the dark part of like when they first went to commercial, my friend Holly is good friends with Baron Corbin or Happy Corbin.
Oh, goodness.
She had already told them that where we were going to be at ringside and told him to give Josie crap about Drew. That didn't happen during their actual match because he was on the other side.
Yes.
During the Battle Royal, like during the commercial break for the Battle Royal,
he made sure to walk over.
He walked over, and Josie just started getting
after
him.
And
he just looked like.
And then he started jawing at her.
And Josie's
like, "You're a chicken! You're a chicken!" She just started. And then the ref that was there beside us said, "I think you can take him."
Yeah. Was that? I thought that was you that said that.
No, that was the ref.
That was the ref. Oh my god! Okay, that's even better.
It was the ref. He said,
He's like, and he kept going, "I'm gonna break him in half." No, you won't. You're a chicken. Oh my god!
And the ref did. He said, "I think you can take him."
Okay, I didn't realize that was the ref that said that.
I got video of it, so watch the video.
It's even better. Oh my god, it's even better.
I posted that video on Twitter and on Facebook.
Oh god. So. Yeah, and that will also be included when we do the YouTube video, the upcoming vlog. Oh my god, that's so good. Okay, so they come back from commercial break, and there were other Cesaro acknowledged her and a couple of others. Well, when they come back from, I think this may be even better. When they come back from commercial break, if you watch the show, Drew was not a part of the Battle Royal, and Sheamus taunted him and everything.
Right.
Well, Drew comes out swinging his sword. He almost hits Humberto Carrillo with the sword.
Clears the ring,
except for Angel Garza, who's like, "Oh man, wait." Well, Drew swings the sword at him. He goes flying out towards us and jumps up on the apron and literally almost lands in...
Not the apron, of the barricade.
Of the barricade. And almost jumps in Josie's lap. And
then he's like, "Whoa!" He realized... I think if there were an adult sitting where Josie was, he may have gone ahead and gone into the crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
But he realized it was a kid, so he stopped.
And if you've seen my social media, you'll see the pictures.
And there's a video of what happened after.
So there was a video of, he was like, oh. And then he jumps off, and Drew's still in the ring, like going, "Come on!" Whatever. And then Josie starts yelling at Angel Garza, going, "I'm going to tell Drew on you!" And he just looks like, "You gonna tell Drew on me?" And then he goes.
It was funny.
Oh my god!
It was funny.
Just the reaction and the pictures that I've got of him doing that, and then him going, literally right up in my face. It was Oh my god! It was awesome. He was just so awesome and playful with her and everything. So there was a dark match after the Battle Royal. It was Drew and the New Day versus the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and the Usos. During the match, at different points. So Xavier Woods like talked to her like from the apron.
Yep.
And then Kofi had his daughter had just been born, I think on Tuesday.
He kept interacting with her because she kept cheering for them.
She kept cheering
and
for
he
them.
was like, yeah.
Yeah, and so he looked over, he and Drew were like on the in the corner, and he kept going. He said, he was asking,
how old is he?
How old are you?
How old are you?
Because she kept saying, I told him like
you've been my favorite since I was 2 years old.
Yeah, you guys were her first favorites ever, and that's true. He said, "Oh, how old are you?" And we were like 8, and he was like, "Oh, you're 8 years old," and he just kept interacting with her.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God, it was so great. And then after the dark match was over, they went out and I guess they had like little sections. Unfortunately, we did not get to get a selfie. Unfortunately, with Drew, that was the only down part to that night. Didn't get that FaceTime with Drew, unfortunately, or Xavier Woods, because they had to leave because they had to start tearing things down. But we had another amazing interaction with Kofi and got a selfie with him.
And he talked about, I heard you cheering down here the whole night. Thank you for being a fan and all that. He was,
yes.
He really engaged Josie.
He took a lot of time with us.
Yes,
that was. But Josie made some big fans of certain WWE superstars.
She sure did
that night.
So that's kind of a recap of what happened
from our vantage point. So
the cool thing is that some of the things we got, and we have a couple of mementos, one of which I'm sitting on, and I will show you real quick.
Yep.
So
when you buy the Ringsider VIP, you get a chair. And this one says
Ringsider.
WWE Ringsider and has the WWE logo up here.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty comfortable.
And we all got one.
Yeah, we have 3 of those.
You get
now.
one for each ticket that you get, and you get a swag bag. Now, if you do house shows, you get a meet and greet with some of the superstars. So I'm seriously thinking about Josie and I going to that Fayetteville show.
Even though I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have to work on Monday.
Yeah, I want to see if any VIPs are still available. But
we'll see.
That might be her Christmas present, since her Christmas present, I think, might be canceled.
Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know it yet, but we're going to see. But anyway, so we're going to show. So you also get a swag bag with the purchase of the Ringsider thing. So so this right here, actually, these two things.
You got those 2 things.
So these 2 things I bought for this one. I bought for Josie. She has both a WWE Championship belt and she has an AEW Championship belt. So I figured now she needs the full thing, and she needs to be Universal Champion also. This is the first time we've taken it out. I still haven't taken the cardboard thing out of it yet, but Josie is now. You can now acknowledge Josie.
Acknowledge her.
Acknowledge her. And she kept screaming for Roman Reigns to acknowledge her too.
This item
is for me.
Is for Cherry because it's her favorite. It's Josie's favorite wrestler
Josie's favorite wrestler too. So it's a Drew McIntyre picture, and it's actually signed. Which I actually already have his signature because I bought his book, A Chosen Destiny. I bought an autographed copy of it. But yeah, it's awesome.
And we have this environmentally friendly plastic WWE bag.
Hey, yeah. Plastic is so good for the environment. It did get a little bent, but that's okay.
So the other thing that we received, we got this swag bag. And it's actually,
it's really nice.
Not a bad bag. It's like a cinch bag. But inside...
Turn it around so you can see it. It's
the WWE.
Clear on the inside.
So,
our tickets.
So here are our tickets that we had.
You very rarely see these anymore, but usually when you do the Ringsider, you actually have to do will call because they want to see like physical tickets for that. Because actually, when you go and pick up your chair, or when you when the show is over, you have to sit in your chair until they come and like clip the twist ties, the zip ties off of it.
So inside the bag is a signed picture of Alexa Bliss, and
it's actually it's in
a little frame. But they have different ones for at each show. Some are Alexa Bliss, some are Big E. Different from a different superstar.
Yeah.
So this is the one we had, and it was the same one for all three. And it makes sense because Alexa's on break right now, so she has time to sign a bunch of these.
Yes.
So that's really cool. We
Yeah.
we love Alexa Bliss. So
We
that's
do.
Great.
We adore her. Josie, I think Josie still wants the Lily doll.
Yeah. And then we have this. Sweatbands.
Here, let's-
WWE sweatbands.
That reminds me of that episode of the Edge and Christian show where Drew's like doing the Hulk Hogan workout thing, and it was like, sweatbands, you're going to sweat a lot,
so
brother.
there's a headband.
Oh, a headband. It says WWE ringside.
This goes like, it's not a
it's
headband,
it's an armband. And then you
two
have
wristbands.
Two wristbands.
Right, and then there is a WWE lanyard.
Oh, that's cool. I've got a
In
Drew.
each.
I got a Drew Scottish Warrior.
And then I thought this was actually kind of cool, and there came a little black box, but inside the box is a Bluetooth speaker.
That is really cool.
It's a portable Bluetooth speaker. You can
Okay.
like hook it onto the lanyard if you want to. It's actually got a little clip here. You can put it on your belt loop.
Oh yeah.
And it's got like your USB connector there, so you can hook it up to your to whatever device you have, or that actually charges the device. But you can Bluetooth it to your phone or to whatever like device you have that you want to Bluetooth, and you can, I guess, take it on a run or whatever.
Yep, that's pretty cool. That's really cool.
Yep.
So, but yeah, and of course, I mean, the bag. The bag is really cool, actually,
Yep.
nice and sturdy. And a lot of these events are doing like clear bags only. Like this one on Friday night, it was if you had a bag like a backpack or something, you were not allowed to take it in. It was a clear bag only policy.
Yes.
So that can come in handy.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So
I
don't even think we fully conveyed just how amazing Friday night was.
It was great.
It was, oh God, it was. I'm gonna say, people keep asking me how much it is. I don't like to talk about finances and stuff like that because that's really personal, to me. I'm just gonna say that it was very expensive.
But it was worth it.
It was worth every single penny.
More so for the memories that we made with Josie.
The memories we made with her. I mean, our memories too. I mean,
well, that's what I said. We made the memories we made with
watching
Josie.
her just go nuts. And I remember being that little kid when I was her age and younger and older, like in my tweens, going nuts, at wrestling shows. It just was like, literally, especially something that happened at WrestleCade, just literally, it made me feel like this. It made me feel like it was like literally the circle of life.
Well, I mean, those performers are like rock stars. They really are. They're larger than life.
They are.
Some
of them are like.
Some of them are just really large.
Drew is a huge. I knew he was big, but
he's a large person.
He is huge, and Shanky and Baron Corbin. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought Roman Reigns would be bigger.
I did too.
He's not that big.
I saw Roman Reigns.
I mean, he's muscular, but
he's muscular and he's in shape and all. But I saw Roman Reigns. I was like, he's not that big.
He's not as big as you think he is. Like stature wise.
I mean, he's a big guy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he's
but stature wise,
he's above average in size. But when you see him, you're like, thought he'd be bigger.
Yeah, but he's beautiful though. I'm just gonna say he's really nice to look at, and Mommy had a great night too. When you get to see your favorite wrestler, it's awesome. Speaking of, the next day was WrestleCade.
Yes.
Okay, so WrestleCade happens every year. It's usually Thanksgiving weekend in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's a convention of, now WWE superstars are not allowed to do this, which I think is ridiculous.
Because
they're not allowed to. They would love to, but
well,
they're not allowed to.
One of the superstars that we met actually addressed that with us.
Yeah.
And basically said that the attitude with WWE, with their superstars, is I pay you enough, you can't go do those things, even if it helps you make extra money.
Yeah. So I just think, now we're talking about current superstars with WWE. They cannot do it. But
This person that told us that, and I won't say who it was, but he worked for WWE, from what he said, for 40 years.
For 40 years.
Yeah.
But former WWE superstars are, they're we're getting ready to talk about, there were boatloads of them.
Yes.
We're going to talk about, we only got to meet certain ones because I had prepaid for the ones I really wanted us to get. And the Fan Fest part of it is only on Saturday, and you can only do it from, it's only from 10 to 3. And that literally pretty much took up all of our time. But
we got a lot.
But we saw a lot. We saw a lot. If you go on the website and see, who all was a guest, we saw all of them. So,
we actually interacted with the ones that we'll go through here in a moment.
Yes, these are the ones that we actually interacted with and had FaceTime with. So, my favorite wrestler of all time.
He's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, is Sting. And we got to meet Sting.
There's a signed poster. This is Josie's.
Because she is a big fan. And we'll talk about this in a second. She's a big fan of Joker Sting from TNA. And we're going to talk about that. So,
and we also got, this was the one that I got for me with the big gold belt. And this is Crow Sting from WCW.
Yep, that's right after I think he beat Hogan.
Right after he beat Hogan.
Yeah.
And then for Cherry, Surfer Sting. And that's the...
that's the Sting that
That's the Sting that I grew up with too.
So I've been a huge fan of Sting since '86 when he was in the UWF with Jim Hellwig as his partner in the Blade Runners. Mm-hmm. Before that, he was in Continental.
The Freedom Fighters.
As the Freedom Fighters, Flash and...
Also with Jim Hellwig, who later became the Dingo Warrior, who became the Ultimate Warrior.
So I got to tell Sting, this is this is 35 years in the making for me. Because I've been a Sting fan. He's been my favorite wrestler for 35 years. So just to be in his presence is really cool. He's just a very super nice guy. But the one that stole his heart was Josie.
Oh my gosh.
So Josie,
this is going to be a common theme, by the way.
It's already been a common theme with the WWE guys.
So this little girl, I'll tell you what, she made the most of every moment that she had. She
made some fans.
Yes, she did.
But
one of them being Sting.
He just looked down at her and said, "Hey, and he didn't do this for everyone. We saw him interact with everyone. He was
very calm. He seemed
very calm and cool. He's cool,
just relaxed, and he spoke but he was really. It was almost like when Josie mentioned to him that she loved Joker Sting from Impact.
He went.
It's like he came to life.
He was like, "You're the only one," and he was just like, "So what do you like about Joker Sting?" She was like,
"The jokes."
The jokes. And he was just like,
and she's just going like this,
but she's just talking to him, and he said, "She's got more personality than everyone in this entire building combined." And he was just all about just Josie, just oh my God, he just interacted with her, and he just adored her. And
yes,
as we were getting ready to leave,
what's funny is the photographer that was taking the pictures.
She
saw us later on during the day, and she pointed out there's the little girl that Sting took to.
Yes,
and then later on, even that evening, we saw it was the same photographer again, and she mentioned to two of the wrestlers that had just finished the main event, this is the little girl that Sting fell in love with.
Yes, that was Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews. Buddy Murphy.
Yeah.
She was telling them that's the little girl that Sting took to.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently Josie's made the talk of WrestleCade.
Yeah, apparently.
But yeah, Sting just absolutely adored her. As we were leaving, he was telling her he was saying that little girl is going places. She can be anything she wants to be.
And you mentioned she wanted to be a wrestler.
I mentioned she wants to be a professional wrestler. He said she can absolutely do it.
And I said as long as she works hard. He said that's right.
Yes, but he just he just absolutely, and I said, Josie, do you realize when I was a teenager what that kind of interaction with Sting would have done to me? And she was just like, yeah, I know, I'm so happy. You know?
Yeah.
she was just, she was, oh my God, just to see him, he lit up.
He did.
Oh my God, that was,
It was
made
awesome.
my heart just so happy.
It was awesome.
So, another person that we got to meet.
This one was big for me.
This was very big for Gooch here.
Okay, and here's why. So I wrestled in high school and some at the college level, and
it was around that time, or a little bit
after. It was a little bit after. So that was in the early '90s, and then in 1996, this gentleman won the Olympic gold medal in Atlanta, Georgia,
with a broken
freaking neck, and his name is Kurt Angle, who we met.
Angle. And he did, and he actually did personalize.
Yes,
he
signed it. This one is Josie. It's true. Kurt Angle Hall of Fame 2017.
Yep. Yeah, that's when he went into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. And then this one is for Cherry.
It says it's true.
It says it's true. Hall of Fame 2017 also.
Yep.
To Cherry.
And I wanted that because it had the American flag behind it, since he was an Olympic gold medalist.
And then this is from when he was in Impact.
Impact, yes. And it was funny is I was a huge TNA fan.
Yep, and that's and he said the same thing. It's true. To me, it's true. Kurt Angle Hall of Fame 2017. So
yeah, he's
really awesome. He, you can tell he's health wise because he sustained many injuries. He put his body through a lot of pain and pain, blues, and agony, so to speak.
Yes, he was.
In the interest of entertaining all of us.
Yes, but it's not every single day that you legitimately meet the greatest wrestler of all time.
That has ever actual wrestler.
He is the greatest
has ever
wrestler
lived.
of all time. And I mean on the collegiate level and Olympic level, obviously, but he took to professional wrestling and sometimes it can take even guys who were great grapplers years to perfect the art of professional wrestling.
Dan Severn.
Like Dan Severn.
Ken Shamrock even.
Yeah, but
this guy, immediately.
It was like days for him because he was just that freaking good.
And he was that driven to work hard and succeed.
Yes, but we met a legitimate, awesome wrestler.
The next one is one of Josie's favorites.
And mine.
And mine. I like him too.
So I actually first discovered this guy in ICW because I was a Drew McIntyre fan way back in 2007. When he was Drew Galloway. Well, in 2007 that's the first time I saw him when he debuted for WWE.
Yeah, he was Drew McIntyre, but the chosen one.
The chosen one, 3MB. And we're gonna get to 3MB in a moment. But
we did have a 3MB weekend.
We did.
Met them all.
We did. So in between, so he got released in 2014. He went back to ICW where he kind of started his career before WWE. With that and Irish Whip Wrestling and British Championship Wrestling. But when he was in ICW during that time, he was when he was ICW World Champ, he faced this guy, and I saw this match before I saw this guy on NXT. He was known then as Tommy End. And I watched that Drew Galloway Tommy End match, and I was just like, oh my God. Both of these guys are just so freaking good. But I had never seen this guy's style before. I was just like, okay, he's going to be...
But then he moved on to NXT.
When he debuted for NXT the same night that Drew signed again with NXT, and I was just like, oh my God, I did not know Tommy End. But then he was known as Aleister Black. But now he is Malachi Black
in AEW.
Yes. So this is my autograph.
Yes. And
that's his new persona in AEW.
And this is mine.
Let's see, you've got...
That says Aleister Black, but he signed it as Malachi.
That's Aleister Black, yes. I love the sitting thing there. Oh yeah, and he had the eye patch thing
and
on
then
too.
Josie got the Malachi Black kicking Cody Rhodes' head off.
When he is knocking Cody the F out. Oh my God. And we had a great interaction with him too. He is so nice. Josie was like, what did she say? I love you. He said, thank you. My wife does too.
That's what he said.
And his wife is Zelina Vega in WWE, if you didn't know that.
Yes.
Thea Trinidad. But yeah, he was like, yeah, my wife does too. But she was actually kind of scared to meet him at first because he's kind of got a little bit of a scary persona, even though she's a huge fan.
Yeah.
But like he just, put her at ease, and he was just so nice. And of course, me being like a big ICW mark, I was just like, oh my God, it's Tommy End.
Right.
But he was so fantastic to meet, and the match that he and Buddy Matthews had
was amazing.
Incredible. I mean, their matches in WWE were incredible, but they had no limits at this thing. And,
yeah, they weren't hampered by scripting or whatever.
Yes,
they were allowed to be in their full creative mode.
Yes, it was amazing. Okay,
so this one was huge for Josie.
So Josie is a big fan of who were then known as formerly known as the Iconics. They were known as Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Well, now they are known as the Inspiration. They are
the Impact Women's
Tag Teams champions. So so that is Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay. So I had tweeted at them previously about her and her little dance partner Aria. They want to be they have always wanted to be the Iconics. They want to be a tag team just like them, and I tweeted at them, and they were just like, they fell in love. They're like, oh my gosh, that is the most precious thing in the world and everything. And when I told them that that Josie was going to meet them, Jessica in particular was just like, oh my God, please, I want to meet her. So when we got up there, they were just like all about Josie. About her.
Well, it was Billie Kay. Jessica Kay actually said, "Can I take a picture of her?"
Yes,
on her own phone, on her personal phone.
And
we said, "Yeah, sure." And she took it. But then they signed this to Josie. You inspire us
with a heart.
With a heart. They're now known as the Inspirations.
The Inspiration.
And
with two
Impact.
eyes, just like the Iconics.
But they were given hugs and took pictures and just really had a great interaction.
And they asked Josie to see some of her dance moves.
And she
did the worm.
Followed by Around the World.
Around the World. And they were just, oh my God, they just adored her. We adored them. Their interaction was just some of the sweetest things I have ever seen.
Yes.
Oh my God. It made that little girl's year.
Yeah.
Oh my
absolutely.
God. All right. So next was very big for me, and Josie too, because Josie has inherited my love of 3MB. So 3MB was Drew McIntyre, Jinder Mahal, who we saw up close and personal on Friday night.
Both of them.
But then we got to meet
Heath Slater.
Well, he's now known as Heath in Impact, but he was Heath Slater in WWE. This was Nexus Heath. This is I Got Kids Heath. That's 3MB Heath, and this is Heath from Impact.
That could also be one man band Heath.
It could be one man band, but I recognize the picture. That's from 3MB. I know my stuff.
But that was to Josie.
It says, "Oh baby." That's kind of his thing. He'll go, "Oh baby."
And then here's the one to Cherry.
Yep.
And then
and I got another one too.
Yeah.
Because I had to have 3MB Drew. I mean 3MB.
3MB.
Our interaction with him was he's a
super nice guy.
Super nice, so down to earth.
Actually, was in the bathroom with him and him on one side and Hornswoggle on the other side.
We really did have the 3MB because if you've ever seen the WLC match.
Yeah. So I had Heath over here to my right and I had Hornswoggle over here to the left. He was of course at the shorter urinal.
And then
the one that's not quite so high.
And then the night before, I had Jinder Mahal right in front of me, and Drew almost landed in my lap.
Yeah. So, so I had a couple people ask me if I said anything to them. I was like, no, I did not speak to them in the bathroom.
You don't do that's
There are certain lines you don't cross, and when guys are in the bathroom, you let them handle their business. You don't talk to them. It's like one time I was in the bathroom next to George Strait, and Leslie was like, or Cherry was like, "Did you speak to him?" I was like, "No, we were using the bathroom. We don't do that."
It's apparently guy code that you don't talk.
You don't. Okay, when you're standing at the urinal beside someone,
okay, let's not talk.
You don't disturb.
Can we just talk
the
about
business that's being done?
Let's just talk about.
You just don't. It's a no-no.
But we talked about we talked to Heath quite some time.
Yeah.
He talked about, he saw I had a different Drew McIntyre shirt on. He was just like, hey, that's one of my best friends, and just talked about what a wonderful human being was. And that I actually got stopped by
a number of times
by several wrestlers and crew members from WrestleCade, because he was at WrestleCade in 2016. A security guard just went on
about
and on about how great he was. And Dr. Tom Pritchard, if you know who in WWE, Dr. Tom, he actually saw my shirt and made it a point to stop me and talk and tell me, I love that guy. He's just one of the best people that I know. And I told him that, he's Josie's hero, and told him about the video. And he said, well, she chose wisely, because he's great. And that happened like the entire day.
And it was spontaneous too. It wasn't like anyone was like trying to solicit that type of response from anyone.
Gilbert made a point of saying it too. We didn't get a picture signed by him, by the way, but we did get
selfies.
We did. Gilbert is such a sweetheart of a man.
Gilbert is greater than Goldberg. I'll just say it.
But I got the 3M here. You got the 3MB. Nope.
Oh.
Turn open. Oh. I got the 3MB fist bump.
You did.
With Drew. With Heath,
yeah.
And I was like, yeah, well, Drew was my favorite, but you were a very close second. He said, well, Drew's my favorite 3MB too. Talking about that was one of his best friends, but he was just so down to earth and so sweet, and I mean, it just made my day, because like I said, I'm a big 3MB fan, and I was also a fan of the Nexus too until John Cena
squashed him.
But anyway,
so
Heath was.
So the next one was also big for Cherry and for Josie.
Yeah,
it was cool to see too, because I remember watching this guy back in the day, and he was,
and we had just seen his brother the night before.
He and his brother were one of the biggest tag teams of the era, and they were innovative, and the matches they had with Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys, in particular,
iconic.
Yes, iconic. But it was wonderful.
That is Josie's. It says to Josie, "You're my champion."
And he dubbed her the dancing champion of House Hardy.
The official dance champion of House Hardy.
Yes, and he said, "You're my champion, Matt Hardy."
So Josie. So earlier this year, when Josie was competing in one of her regionals,
yes, I
had gotten a cameo of him, because she is a huge fan of Broken Matt. In the Broken Universe, she loved Vanguard 1 and King Maxil and all that madness. She loved the whole Broken Universe thing.
And Skarsgård the
dilapidated boot. But he just kept, I told him about how much that video meant to her, because she won that competition.
And we told him she
won.
And we told him she went and won it. And he was like, that's amazing. And he, really, was encouraging to her. And, again, started, we had heard some people talk about that he sometimes wasn't the most engaging, but he was very engaging with us and with Josie.
Yes. And he said, "You are the official dance champion of House Hardy."
Yes, he did say that. And then this is the one that Cherry had signed.
Yep. It says, delete.
But he was great.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic interaction with him as well.
Yes.
In fact, we didn't have a bad interaction with him.
No, we didn't. But yeah, Hardy Boys, my second favorite tag team of all time. And, yeah. it did that whole convention thing was so amazing. I wish we would have been able to get more, but there was just no time and no money.
Yeah.
Because those I actually prepaid for. I'm like, I'm going to get them before I get anyone else since I've already paid for them.
Right.
And because we were so short on time. But
now this next thing we actually didn't pay for. We
No,
were in
didn't.
line waiting for Heath Slater, and we walked by this booth, and Josie started interacting with this lady,
yeah.
and she gave her a shirt.
Gave her a shirt, yeah.
Stephen P. New, attorney at law.
So apparently Jim Cornette talks about this guy.
A podcast.
It's a podcast. And they were selling their T-shirts and everything.
And apparently they have really good hot sauce.
Yes, I've heard they got incredible hot sauce.
Because they had some over there. We didn't buy any, but
and it's got wrestlers' pictures on it. I guess depending on the hotness, who
They also had Tully Blanchard's 1985 Starrcade robe on sale that you could purchase.
That was from the I Quit match.
And that was from the I Quit match with Magnum TA. And by the way, Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard were both in attendance at WrestleCade.
Yes, they were.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, Josie just once again charmed someone, and they unsolicited just here take.
Yeah, unsolicited. We were just waiting in line for Heath, and Josie started talking to her,
and
she
here
took to her.
Just let her. She can have the shirt.
Okay.
Thank
you.
So before you pull that out, so on top of the convention. Our ticket got us into the pay-per-view that was happening that night called WrestleCade Revenge. So the matches that we saw, the first one was the Bollywood Boys. I think now they're called the Bollywood Blondes,
which was the Singh brothers.
If you saw WWE, they used to hang out with Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, they were his lackeys.
They were the Bollywood Boys versus my favorite tag team of all time, the Rock and Roll Express, Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So they still come out to Rock and Roll is King. I was marking out big time.
So was Josie.
Josie was too, and that's what I was talking about. Seeing her sing along to that song and just getting into it, it literally felt like the circle of life.
Right.
So that was the first match, and then we also had Dirty Dango, who was known as Fandango in WWE, versus I can't remember the guy's name, but he was with AML.
Right.
But I loved Fandango. I was a big fan of the Fashion Files, so getting to see him wrestle was really awesome for me.
It was good.
People kept going that during let's see. There was a big battle royal that had several, including Hornswoggle somehow got into that.
Terry Morton, which is Ricky Morton's
Falaba,
son.
who's in Impact.
By the way, I had an interaction with Falaba.
Yeah.
While we were at the Fan Fest, I didn't realize. I just thought he was there with one of the other guys.
No.
Didn't realize who it was. We were talking about our love for the movie. Every which way but loose, and any which way you can.
Yeah, right turn, Clyde.
Yeah, right turn, Clyde. He's like, yeah, but you didn't want to catch that right turn. I was like, nope, sure didn't. But that was really cool, and I realized it when he was up in the ring. I was like, oh, that's the guy I was talking to.
Yeah. I think I had sort of recognized him, but I was just like.
But he's an Impact.
He's an Impact,
wrestler.
He's a huge Samoan guy. Let's see. I'm trying to think of all the matches. There was a 3-way match between Thunder Rosa, Deonna Purrazzo, and Mercedes Martinez, which was really good.
And you had Eric Rowan and POC.
Yeah, okay, so Eric Redbeard, who was known as Eric Rowan in WWE, he was a member of the Wyatt family and Bludgeon Brothers with Brody Lee and Bray Wyatt.
There was a really nice fan chant.
I heard the fan chant to
Brody Lee, and you could see Eric getting a little choked up by it. He was emotional.
Yeah. POC. He was one time in WWE known as Jean-Pierre Lafitte. He was a member of the Quebecers, and he was the pirate guy. He was he was. I always liked him as the pirate.
The pirate guy.
Usually, if they're a pirate like Paul Burchill, I'm gonna like a pirate.
He ended up winning the match against Eric Redbeard.
He did, yeah. It's insane what good shape POC is in.
Yes.
As to be his age. I mean, it's amazing. Let's see what we saw. Matt Hardy versus Enzo.
Enzo, formerly known as Enzo Amore.
people can say what they want to, but that dude is fire on the mic.
He's very entertaining.
Entertaining, quick-witted. He's
smack talker.
Yes. He did all of his. Well, he actually had the crowd do most of his catchphrases.
Yeah,
too.
the catchphrases, he would start it, and then he would stop, and the crowd would finish, and then he said, "We just avoided a copyright infringement right there. Great job.
How you doing?
How you
doing?" And then and then he was facing broken Matt Hardy, and so they had this interaction. Like he kept saying, "Delete." And then he was like, "Do you not know any other keyboard commands?"
Keys on the keyboard.
Spacebar, how you doing? Delete! And
comma, how you doing?
Delete! And the crowd was just
number sign, how you doing?
Delete! Yeah, we were, So and the crowd got into that. That was a lot of fun. There were some other matches I can't think of. But the big match and why this should be a WrestleMania main event at some point. It really should.
It should be.
So these guys faced.
They had matches in WWE.
That's what I was going to say.
Well.
They had some of the most fantastic matches in WWE in the past 5 years.
But seeing them without the WWE handcuffs on.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, it was great.
This is probably one of the absolute greatest matches that I have ever attended live. It was incredible. It was Malachi Black, and he had his full AEW awesome dark entrance.
Yes.
With the mask and everything against Buddy Matthews, who was known as Buddy Murphy or Murphy in WWE. They put on just the most amazing match. If you look at Twitter's talking about it.
Yep.
Because it was that good. I mean, it was incredible. And I think you got like Malachi Black's entrance.
I got his entrance.
Yeah,
yes, I did.
And so that'll be part of the WrestleCade video that we do. So they had their match. Malachi Black won.
At the end,
I surprised Josie with a photo op with her and Malachi Black. It was Malachi Black and
Buddy Matthews.
Buddy Matthews. Inside the ring. I do not have those pictures at those in the Sting ones. I should get in 7 to 10 business days. But part of the package that I got, Josie got this signed by Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews.
Yep, there it is.
So yeah,
really awesome.
So that is all of our stuff that we got this week.
Our account of the happenings. Well, I think what we should do, we should bring Josie up and let her talk about
her thing. Yeah. Josie!
Hey, Josie, come on up, baby girl. Here she comes.
So that we...
Let me move back a little bit.
Yeah. So that you can hear her point of view of this. Come on in here, baby. Hi. We're all incredibly tired, by the way.
Yes, we're exhausted.
Say hi.
Hi.
It was a great weekend.
So, Josie, first, let's talk about Smackdown. Okay? Tell us about your experience at Smackdown.
So, at first, when the judges were coming out, Pat McAfee literally gave me a high five.
Yes, we did get a
high five. Yeah,
yes.
That's right.
That's right.
What was
After that was...
That was when Drew and Jeff Hardy came out and faced Baron Corbin and
Jeff Hardy gave me a high
Madcap
five.
Moss. Yeah, he did.
And what about Drew?
He said, "Oh, it's you."
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, it's Josie."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He did. He pointed at you and acknowledged you. I know that meant a lot to you. Don't do that. Keep it up here.
Keep on.
I know that meant a lot to you, didn't it?
Yeah. And what else happened?
Let's see. It was. I think you.
Didn't Charlotte come out after that?
Oh, Roman Reigns, he smiled at me.
Oh, Roman Reigns did smile at you.
He did smile at you.
That's
I forgot
right.
about that.
But you did yell at him to acknowledge you too. So
yeah, he did. And he acknowledged you.
He did. So let's see. Well, the Cesaro thing didn't happen until the Battle Royal. Okay, Charlotte Flair, you were cheering for her. And
I saw her smiling at you a couple times.
Yeah. So then you want to talk about Naomi? Stop. You want to talk about Naomi? We'll talk
about it.
Well, when there was a commercial break, and say, "Hi, Naomi," she said, "Hi," we were touching hands, and I was like, I love you, Naomi. And she said, I love you too, baby.
She did.
She did. How did that feel?
Yeah,
it was good.
It felt awesome. Oh, yeah, you saw Shayna Baszler. Yep.
Yep, you saw Shayna Baszler.
What about Sasha
and
Banks?
Maddie.
Yep.
And Sasha. Yeah.
Yep.
Sasha said, yeah, girl.
Yeah,
she did.
When she was trying to pump Naomi up. Yep.
That's right.
Okay, so you want to talk about what happened during the Battle Royal?
Which one?
You had lots happen during the
Yes.
Battle Royal.
But you have to be so specific.
Okay, what about with
Okay.
Sami Zayn first?
Sami Zayn.
What happened with him?
Well, when there was a commercial break, he said, I love you, Tim. And he's like, see, there you go. She's the only intelligent person in this room.
That was funny, wasn't it?
Yes.
What about, I think the next thing that happened, what about with...
Corbin.
Oh, talk about with Corbin. Okay.
Yeah, so he was like, he was talking about Drew. So, yeah.
And what
he was
did
making fun of it.
and he was making fun of Drew.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I said, you're a chicken, you're a
And
chicken.
what was he
Corbin's
say?
a chicken.
What did he say to you?
What did he
then?
say to you?
He said, oh yeah, I'm going to kick his butt.
Yeah. And you just kept yelling, he's a chicken.
You're a chicken, yes.
And then what about with...
Okay, so what happened with Angel Garza?
Yeah, what happened?
He almost fell in my lap.
Yeah, he sure did, didn't he?
And so what did you, when Drew was in the ring and he cleared everyone out, and after he almost jumped in your lap, what did you tell Angel? What did you tell him?
I'm gonna tell Drew on you.
And what did he do?
You're gonna tell Drew.
Yeah, he tried to shush you.
He tried to shush you.
And didn't you get a high five from one of the Viking Raiders?
Both of them actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh, don't hit yourself so hard.
Yeah.
Don't try so hard.
And Ivar came over and gave you a high five.
And
When I did that.
who else acknowledged you and winked at you and stuff like that? There were a couple others. Ricochet
He
winked. Yeah, that's right. Ricochet did wink at her.
Yeah.
Who else acknowledged you? Cesaro.
He did.
Cesaro. I don't know who that is. Stop. Let's see. There were a couple others. So then we had the dark match. What happened during the dark match with Drew and New Day?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Idiot.
So what happened during the dark match? Xavier Woods talked to you. Well, Xavier Woods talked to you too.
Oh yeah, Kofi.
But Kofi, you and Kofi talked for quite some time.
Yeah, sure did.
What did he say to you?
He said, Ed, hooray! I'm your favorite.
Yeah, he asked how old you were, and because we told him you had been a big fan, he was your first favorite.
Well, the New Day was your first favorite.
New Day, yeah. And what else? Stop doing that. And what happened after the match?
Who came over and talked to us?
Kofi.
Speak out, baby
Please.
girl.
Kofi!
Go.
Kingston!
I know your voice is a little weak.
Yeah,
after yelling all weekend.
yeah. She's got her voices. I think mine is too. So
Yeah.
So was it awesome?
Yeah, he has a baby.
He did have a baby
yeah.
on.
His wife had a baby girl.
Yeah. So how did you have a great time at Smackdown on the front row?
Of course.
Of course.
Oh, Rick Boogs.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
Rick
Rick
Boogs
Boogs,
did! I
that's
forgot
right.
about that. You
sure
were
did.
cheering for him, and what did he say? He pointed over you. What did he say?
He said, that's my girl.
That's my girl. That's
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, he sure did.
Let's see.
Girl.
So then we went to WrestleCade yesterday. You want to talk about? You had an interaction with Sting.
How was that?
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah. What else? What else happened?
Yeah, we saw our friend Mr. JD, didn't we?
Yeah, we saw Mr. JD Drake.
JD Drake there. Yeah, he was with QT Marshall.
QT Marshall.
We spoke to him for a little while.
Yep, you met Mr. Gilbert.
Yeah, Gilbert
He
was awesome.
Very nice.
You just made the list.
Oh, you said
Oh
that.
yeah,
That's
James
right,
Ellsworth was
there.
with Gilbert.
That's right. And she told Ellsworth he made the list.
He said, "Oh, you saw that, huh?"
Yeah.
Okay, so next, let's see, who was next? Matt Hardy, I think.
Well, actually, it was Heath was the next person.
No, Matt Hardy was first.
Was it Matt first?
Yes,
okay.
Matt first. So you were named the official dance champion of House Hardy. So you love Broken Matt Hardy, don't you?
Yeah, he made an appearance.
He did make an appearance at the wrestling show.
Yes,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Wonderful. And then we
Winston Salem, I knew you'd
come. Yeah, he did say that at the...
Delete!
Yes.
Delete!
Okay, and then you met Heath.
And then Enzo.
3. Well, you didn't meet him in Enzo.
We didn't meet Enzo. We saw him.
And you met the Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wasn't that awesome?
And can I tell him who is next?
Yes. Malachi Black.
Malachi Black. You had fun with that too, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about Okay, you're acting a fool right now.
How about Speak and not just Malachi?
Yeah.
Then Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
That's
Yeah. And then we went to the wrestling show, the actual pay-per-view.
What was your favorite match at the pay-per-view?
Don't ask me that.
Was it Matt Hardy versus Enzo?
I don't know.
Or was
I don't know.
Or was it Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews?
I don't know.
WrestleCade Saturday? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, and I know you liked seeing the Rock and Roll Express too.
Yeah, you had
He's a honky man. He's a honky man.
No, you didn't say honky tonk, man.
Honky tonk?
What are you talking about? You Rock and Roll is king.
What about Jay Lethal? We saw him, and he came out as Black Machismo.
Although she was cheering for Zack Ryder.
She was.
Matt Cardona.
Matt
that was
Cardona.
another match. Was Jay Lethal versus Matt Cardona?
Cardona, yeah.
Heath and George South.
Yeah, Heath and George South.
Yeah, when in that match I did, cause we're 3MB, baby.
Yeah,
she was like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
But after the match, you got to take your picture with both Malachi Black and Buddy Matthews,
AKA Buddy Murphy.
Yeah,
and he stole 2 of Seth Rollins' moves to stomp and jump poke his eye out.
Yeah.
So how was that when you got your picture? How
he gave you a fist bump, but Buddy Murphy gave you a fist bump too.
Gave you a fist bump. Was that cool?
Yeah.
You got to get up in the ring with them.
Yeah, she actually got to get up in the ring. That was so cool.
Yeah.
All right, so Josie, okay, now put your arms down and just talk about how fun this weekend was for you. It was cool.
So out of everything that happened this weekend, what was your favorite part?
Don't ask me that question.
I
don't know.
I know it's hard to pick, but if you could pick one thing, what was your favorite moment out of the whole thing?
Let me think.
Was it Drew? Was it...
I don't know.
Sting? Was it Inspiration?
Angel Garza moment?
Or was it just everything? Everything?
It was everything. Okay.
It was an amazing weekend.
It really was.
So... All right, we're going to let...
I can tell you my least favorite part was the lack of sleep.
Oh, my Lord. I'm still feeling it.
I did like the lack of sleep.
Well, so on that note, it's probably time to get ready to go take a nap.
Yes, all right. Go ahead and go back downstairs. And you want to tell everyone bye? All right.
Love, peace.
All right, go.
Love, peace, rock, and a little bit of pixie dust.
All right, go on.
All right, baby
Bye.
girl.
All right, go on.
Baby girl. I love you.
You may kiss the bride's hand. You may also kiss the broom.
The broom.
Love you.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, go on. She doesn't have a bit.
Okay, that's enough.
She doesn't have a dramatic bone in her body,
Not
does she?
one.
All
right.
So I think we covered everything.
Yes.
It was. I know it's a long video, and I know it's a lot, but a lot of stuff happened this weekend. So I'm going to try to put together these 2 videos for SmackDown and WrestleCade as well. Try to get those done in the next couple of days. I'm just tired.
Yeah, we need to recuperate. So that being said,
Yep. With that being said, if you follow me on Twitter, if you're friends with me on Facebook,
or myself,
or Gooch, or on Instagram. I haven't really posted anything on Instagram. I'm going to try to do that.
I've got a couple things out there that I didn't realize I posted because I posted them on Facebook
on
and
Facebook
they went to Instagram.
Yeah, and sometimes
didn't even realize it.
Yes, sometimes it automatically goes to your Instagram, but I think that's it. So I'm going to try to get those videos to put together as soon as possible. There are some things floating out there on social media. Just go and check out my, because I was pretty extensive on Twitter. Check out my Twitter feed. And yeah, so we had an amazing weekend. I can't wait to do it again. And I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get those Fayetteville tickets for Josie and I.
And I'm going to look at the back of my eyelids for a little while.
I think I'm going to too.
Yeah. So that all being said,
For Josie,
Gooch,
I'm Cherry, and we are the Disney Beams. And as we always like to end our videos with love, peace, rock, a little bit of pixie dust, and a lot of body slams.
and a figure 4 leg lock.
And a figure 4 leg lock. And a claymore!
And a gorilla press slam.
And a future shock DDT.
And a scorpion death lock.
And a stinger splash.
See ya.
Bye, guys. We'll see you real soon.